Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Jahlial in this incarnation. Today, I wanted to do a reflection on karma nodes because the South Node has been was activated by the Moon, the South Node in Libra, and the North Node is in Aries. I already explained this, and I explained how Pluto is going to be in a square for the rest of the 2023. So, today I wanted to talk about these karma nodes because I explained already that I think this cycle is very linked with choosing ourselves. I explained how the chosen ones that the sacred scriptures mentioned are about people that choose themselves and choose to act in connection with their higher dimensions of the soul. Are people that are choosing to act from this conscious part of themselves. And I wanted to bring a phrase that I saw from Eckhart Tolle because I thought it was interesting to bring it here, and I don't remember exactly what the phrase was about, but it was something like that the ego implies an awareness, and that the total consciousness or total awareness cannot coexist with ego. And I wanted to mention this because, I always say that the path for the soul or from the soul that I think we have to take, it's not about the destruction of the ego, because every time that we are operating from rejection, destruction, or separation, we are still acting from our ego. So I really think that the path of consciousness, it is about connection, union, integration, and love. Love as a frequency, and not love as the attachment that many times we interpret as humans. So I do believe that the state of illumination has a natural consequence of detachment from the identifications of the ego. But it's a natural consequence. It's not something that we are pulsing from the destruction of the ego. And I think it's important to take this in account because as much we are growing, we are developing our consciousness, the less we are identifying with our egoic mind. I mean, the consciousness is this part of ourselves that can observe everything, that it can observe our own actions, our own thoughts, and it's the part that can change all the programming that comes from the ego. The ego is very reactive. So consciousness is this part of ourselves that can change all the programming and make things different. So I think this task, this labor, is something simple but not easy, because if it were easy, we would be already in the promised land, and there would not be the kind of destruction and chaos that still exists in our world. But I think this is the path to change everything. And I really wanted to give very simple examples that I probably mentioned before, in which we are acting from our ego and we are not choosing ourselves. Because I think it's very important to detect this, and in order to detect, we have to be in permanent self-observation. This is about total presence, because this is the only way to detect in time our own reactions and to change it. So we all know that we learn many times how to choose ourselves by not choosing ourselves. So, for example, when we are holding on a discussion, and only because we want to have the reason, we want to win, then the ego already won the battle. Because it doesn't matter if we are, expressing something that we believe is truth. It is the pulsion of wanting to win the battle. For example, when you decide to return an insult or a destructive energy just to not feel that you are losing, then the ego won the battle. When you decide to see the enemy on the outside, when you project the enemy instead of taking a look inside of yourself, and understanding what is that person reflecting, and doing the work, well, you are not choosing yourself. So when you decide to make a comment, a destructive comment, instead of a creative one, but at the same time, when you are not capable of expressing disagreement, just to not feel rejected by others, when you let other people can condition all of your emotions, and can disturb your inner peace. When you stay like remembering the past eternally, or projecting fantasies of the future. And this is not about we cannot dream. This is about what are you doing at the present moment in order to build those dreams. When you cannot let your heart open because you have fear of being hurt. When you decide to ignore your intuition, or when you are taking decisions from what other people is telling you, or the society is telling you, and not what is feeling correct right now, what your soul is telling you is correct. When fear is preventing you to move forward, or when you are conforming with relationships that cannot give or receive in the same level that you can, just to not be alone. So there's a lot of examples. I just wanted to give a few ones to understand how we really have to do this practice every time, and to detect these things in more subtle ways, because every time that we are choosing ourselves, we are choosing connection, we are choosing unity for us and for everybody. So I'm going to end the video here. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.